At Eastern Illinois University, Buzzard Hall is home to the three main student news outlets, the Daily Eastern News, WEIU-TV, and Hit Mix 88.9 WEIU. Students gain hands-on experience on the job to help prepare them for future careers. I interviewed three students, Luke Brewer, Matthew Posner, and Lena Stein. Each of them works in student news, and I wanted to learn about their roles and what they enjoy about student news.
So I'm Luke Brewer, I'm a freshman journalism major, and currently I'm news editor at the Daily Eastern News.
My name is Matthew Posner. I am a broadcast journalism major. I have sports media relations minors and broadcast meteorology minors. And right now I work as a sports producer, sports writer, news editor, and run the server machine, so I'm a video editor for WEIU Newswatch.
My name is Lena Stein, and I am a mass comm major with a minor in radio and audio production. And here I usually do the information update on Wednesdays, and then on Tuesdays and Thursdays I'm DJing.
So it kind of started a while back. It would have been sophomore year of high school, and I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my life, basically. And once I got to college, what major I wanted to go into. So there was like this test that the school kind of handed out. It's just some sort of gimmick thing from counseling office that basically went over like what skills are you good at, what skills are you bad at, and then it would like find some job based off that. And logistics analyst was the one that like fit best for me. And then I didn't really want to do that because it was a lot of math, and so then when I switched high schools, they had this journalism program, and I was like, writing's decently okay for me, so I'll give that a shot, and then out of those two, I'll choose whatever I liked better. And then whenever I got to junior year, we had a statistics class, and for the dual credit to count. So the AccuPlacer was a 263 qualifying score, and I got a 262, and they wouldn't round it up. So I didn't get the dual credit for that class, and the statistics grade wasn't that good anyway. It was like a C, maybe a high B, so it was like, or low B, so I was like, I'm good. And then the journalism stuff really got in the groove with that, took off, and I was like, you know what, I want to keep sticking with this. So my senior year of high school, I got an internship at the Den, and came over here for that first semester and was around with Cameron Hardy, and he was my, I want to say like, boss, but he kind of was. He would hand me some stories here and there, and I'd go cover some stuff. And then I made connections that way, and once high school ended, I was able to come here, start right off the bat from freshman year, and second semester, here we are, and now I'm a news editor.
Since my early time in elementary school, and really from the beginning, I knew that I wanted to be in news. It was something that was always a passion of mine, something that I kind of always built towards. This is the first time I've worked in newspapers for 5-10 years before this, but when I got here, this was my first opportunity to work in a real news station environment. I believe myself to be on the video side of things. You know, a lot of people work print, and that's their thing. Video is more my thing. Being in front of the camera or telling the stories from behind it has kind of always been my passion. I've been writing forever, but now I kind of want to go more into this video section of things, and that's kind of just always been my passion. I've known that for a while, and this program offers more than so many other programs across the state and even across the country, and that's why I chose to go to Newswatch.
Technically, there's no like set start and stop time once you get here. News is just always happening. I try to be in here around like 8 a.m. usually to show up, and then I'll kind of like check my email, go through some stuff, maybe work on a little bit of homework before classes start. And then usually around lunch is when people start filing in here for the most part, between whether they have early classes or they're waking up and getting ready and all that. And then we'll kind of just hang out, work on stuff if we've already got assignments. If not, we're just kind of hanging out and working on homework and other stuff. And then for editors, we have a 5 p.m. meeting, so we'll all meet here from each of our different staff desks. So there's photo staff, there's sports staff, there's news staff, which I run. And we'll come in here, we'll discuss what everybody's working on, what everybody's staff is working on, and then we have a whiteboard that's on the other side of the room that we plan print on, and kind of outline how we want to put what stories where, and we collaborate with our design staff, which is run by Rob Lacates at the moment. And then after that, if it's a Monday, we have our news meeting. So that starts around 6:30, and photo staff is here too for that meeting as well. I'll think of a list of stories to have, and I'll assign those stories out to reporters, and I'll take one for myself too. And then photo staff chimes in, and they'll assign their reporters to what stories, and then the reporters and the photographers will go together and work on stories. And then at the first week of every month, we do this thing called an enterprise draft. So we drag in a bunch of like longer form stories. There's not a set timeliness to it, and we'll just kind of rattle those off. Everybody's supposed to bring 2 in, and we'll, at the end of that list, we'll circle the ones we think are the most important, and then I split those out between the month, so we get some nice content that gives us more options to fill print. And then outside of that, it's pretty much just waiting for stories to come in and edit them as they go and put them up on the website and social medias.
So I'm working either 3 or 4 days a week, just kind of depends. I'll walk you through my normal, I'd say my busier day, which is Thursday. My Thursdays, I have a class in the morning at 8, then I go back, eat lunch, and then at noon, that's when I come in. I normally don't have to come in early, I just choose to. I come in at noon. Those are the days where I'm responsible for writing both some sports stories and some news stories. So I write those, edit the videos for those, help generate additional story ideas if we need to, have those cleared, and that takes me about an hour and a half or so. Then, at about 2 o'clock, I begin my video editing. We're given a slip of videos we've been sent by either CNN, PBS, or video that we've done ourselves by our producers at the station. And it's my responsibility to then go edit those clips and make them news ready. Those are normally done around, I'm normally done with that around 4. Now for this hour, this is kind of where I'm around the station to see if people need help with any editing, if there's any videos that we're missing, any stories we still need to write, because depending on if we're doing sports stories, let's say a game starts at 2, we're going to be pushing up to the clock. So I'm in there to kind of help facilitate that. Other than that, I'm sitting in there, that's my break kind of, I'm combing through stories, but on Thursdays and Fridays, I might be watching sports or doing something else while everybody else is working, so I'm kind of just there as a moral support, and then if somebody needs help, that's my responsibility. Then, our show begins at 5. Well, it starts at 5:30, but it's our responsibility at 5 o'clock to start going in, getting ready for, as you know, getting ready for nightcap in the morning. So we do our 30-minute show, and we do a pre-recorded 5-minute show at 10, and a pre-recorded 2-minute show at 9 a.m. the next morning. So we normally shoot those first. I am what's called the server machine man. So what I do is when a clip is ready to be aired for the actual newscast, it's my responsibility to track up and cue the clip and then roll the footage on the air. I'm the one who facilitates that on Thursdays and Fridays. Thursdays are kind of my more day around the station, hence why I'm going through that now. But that's kind of my day where I'm always around, and then we're there for the show until 6 or so. Then I go home, get dinner, and that's my Thursday. My Fridays are relatively similar, except I just have more classes in between, so I'm not in the studio from that like 4 to 5 time. I'm only in there to actually do all the work I have to do, and then we go to the show. Tuesdays, I am the sports producer. So what that means, I come in the morning, help generate what our sports block is going to look like for our sports anchors, write the stories, produce the videos, create the ideas, and then make sure that's done by 2 o'clock or so. I don't stay Tuesday nights though, because I have other commitments with Lawson Hall Panther Leads and other things. So I'm normally out of the studio on Tuesdays by 3, and because I have 5 classes on Monday and Wednesdays, I don't work on those days. So there you go.
I love music. As soon as I came down here, I was so excited to work here and just get started. Best example would be Tuesday mornings when I come in, I fill out the sheet to prove that I was here and the times that I worked, and then I have like a day in music history fact I usually do if there's a good one, and then sometimes I do slip songs in here and there if I don't like what's in the system or it needs to be changed up a bit.
Time management is probably the best one. How I said, news doesn't really have a time frame, it just happens. Some of the stuff, yeah, like if you're going on an event story, you have the set start time, you can show up and plan around that. But then if it's a breaking news thing, you kind of have to be ready to drop the ball on everything else you're doing and go out and do that. I don't recommend it, but sometimes you could skip class and go cover a thing. I've done that maybe once or twice. But, it gives you gotta be ready to show up, is basically what I'm trying to get at, is news won't wait for you, you've got to be ready for it more so. Writing, I think, is another strong one. You have to be good at writing. I know a lot of people, when they come in, they're so used to MLA format, they'll do it to death. Journalism's weird where it's AP style, so it's completely different. Most of it can transfer over, but there's smaller, minor stuff that gets changed. So being able to adjust to that and work on it is really important. Also, people skills. You have to hold interviews for every story you do. Mostly there's a few exceptions with like press releases and some other things, but if you have to go interview somebody, you have to be able to hold a conversation with them and bring up things to ask and questions.
This is a tough field. It's real. Everything that you do will be judged. Every little mistake you make is going to be remembered. But you also want to be remembered for the good things. If you put in the work, you put in the time, this is a real job. We're getting ready for the field. I've known that for a long time. I'm not treated like a student, I'm treated like a professional. Everybody is treated like a professional. It is my job to be there and like it's the job that I'm going to be working 10 to 15 years from now. That's the lesson I've learned the most.
To be responsible, because some kids, they don't show up to their shifts, or they just don't care about it as much as they should, and it's usually a hobby for them, but for some of us it's a career.